A man is running, not jogging, not hurrying. Running, the way you run only once or twice in your whole life, when something is being taken from you and every second is a door closing. He shoves past a fish seller. He knocks a basket from a woman's arms and does not stop to apologize. He is a grown man, an important man, and he does not care who sees him sweat. His name is Jairus, and his little girl is dying. He is a ruler of the synagogue. That means he is the kind of man who is supposed to keep his distance from the traveling teacher. Everyone in his circle has started to whisper about. But there is a thing that happens to your dignity when your child stops eating, when her skin goes gray, when the physician quietly stops making promises. Your dignity becomes the cheapest thing you own. You would trade all of it. You would crawl. So when Jairus finds the teacher, he does not negotiate. He falls down in the dirt of a public street and begs. You know that feeling. Maybe not over a dying child, God willing, never that. But you know the moment when the thing you control turns out to be the thing you cannot control at all. The diagnosis, the phone call at 2 in the morning, the silence on the other end of the line. Hold on to that feeling, because over the next few minutes, you are going to watch one man walk straight into 3 of those moments. 3 deaths, each one worse than the last, and do something with them that nobody before or since has ever done twice. This is not a story about 3 miracles. This is not a story about magic. This is not a story about a man who got lucky 3 times. This is a story about a staircase. 3 deaths, in order, each one deeper, each one more hopeless than the one before. Until the final grave, the one with the stone and the smell and the 4 days, the one even his closest friends beg him not to open. We will get to that grave. But not yet. First, a little girl, and a word her father will never forget. While Jairus is still on his knees, a messenger pushes through the crowd. You can read the news on the man's face before he opens his mouth. Some news has a shape. The messenger says the words anyway. Your daughter is dead. Why trouble the teacher any further? Dead. The man ran as fast as a human body can run, and he was still too late by minutes. And here is where you would expect the story to end. This is the part where, in real life, the strong hand on the shoulder comes. The she's in a better place. The slow walk home to a house that has already started to fill with the sound of professional mourners. Because in that world, when someone with means lost a child, you hired people to wail. Flute players. Women who beat their chests for pay. By the time Jairus got home, the noise of grief was already a business in his front room. But before any of that, the teacher leans close to the shattered father and says 6 words that make no sense. Don't be afraid, just believe. Don't be afraid. His daughter is dead. What is left to believe? They walk to the house. The teacher takes only 3 men with him, and the mother and father. Everyone else he leaves at the door. And when he steps inside and tells the room full of weeping mourners that the child is not dead but only sleeping, they laugh at him. They laugh. One moment they are tearing their clothes in grief, and the next they are sneering at the carpenter, who clearly does not understand how death works. Here's what most people miss. He wasn't being poetic. All through these accounts, he keeps using one particular word for death. He calls it sleep. The Greek is koimao, to lie down and rest. It is such a deliberate choice that it left a fingerprint on your own language. The Greek word for a sleeping place is koimaterion. Say it slowly. That is the word we shortened, centuries later, into cemetery. To him, a graveyard was never a place of endings. It was a dormitory. A room full of people who had simply lain down for the night, waiting for someone to come and wake them. So he clears the room of everyone who laughed. He takes the dead girl by the hand, and a rabbi touching a corpse made him unclean. But he reaches out anyway, and he speaks 2 words in his own language, in Aramaic, the words Mark loved so much he refused to translate them out of the story. Talitha, koum. It is not a thunderclap. It is not a spell. It is the softest thing in the world. Talitha is a tiny tender word, little lamb, little girl. Koum means get up. It is exactly the voice you would use to wake a child on a school morning, your hand on her shoulder, the sun barely up. Little lamb, time to get up. And she does. Her eyes open. She sits up. She is 12 years old, and the first thing this teacher says, after raising her from the dead, is that someone should get her something to eat. Because to him, she was never a miracle to perform. She was a child who would be hungry when she woke. That is death number 1. A little girl gone only minutes. Wake her gently by the hand, in her own bedroom. Remember how easy this one was. Because the next time, he will not be in a house, and nobody will think to ask him for anything at all. Now, the town of Nain. Nain is a small town on the side of a hill, and there is only one way out of it, a single gate in the wall. Picture 2 crowds about to collide at that gate. One is coming up the road, the teacher and the people following him, loud with the energy of a man who has been healing and teaching all day. The other is coming down, out of the town, and it is the quietest crowd in the world. It is a funeral. At the front, carried on an open wooden plank, is the body of a young man. And walking just behind him is his mother. Watch her, because she is the whole story. She is a widow. That word in her world was not just a label for sadness, it was a sentence. A woman with no husband and no son, had no income, no protection, no voice, no one. Her husband was already gone. She had already walked behind one plank to one grave. And now the only person standing between her and starvation, her only son, is being carried out of the town. She will now grow old and alone. You can see her whole future closing in front of her, one step at a time, in time with the men carrying her boy. Nobody asks the teacher to do anything. This is the part you have to slow down for. With Jairus, there was a desperate father on his knees, begging. Here, there is no request. There is no faith on display. There is just a woman who has run out of everything, walking toward a hole in the ground, and a stranger watching her come. And the text says he saw her, not the body, her, and his insides turned over. The word means a gut-level wrench, the kind of compassion you feel in your stomach before your brain catches up. He didn't wait to be asked. He walked toward her and said 2 words that sound almost cruel until you understand who is saying them. Don't cry. You don't say that to a grieving mother. You would never say that. Unless you were about to remove the reason for the tears. Then he does something that makes the whole procession freeze. He walks up and touches the open bier, the plank the dead man is lying on. And every Jewish person in that crowd would have gasped. Because to touch the dead was to make yourself unclean, to take the contamination of death onto your own body. It was the one thing a holy man was supposed to avoid above all else. But it gets stranger. Notice the direction the uncleanness travels. Everywhere else in the world, death is the stronger thing. It spreads, it wins, it pulls the living down into it. Here, for the first time, it runs backward. He touches death, and death does not climb into him. Life climbs out of him and into the corpse. He is not made unclean by the dead man. The dead man is made alive by him. Young man, I say to you, get up. And the boy sits up on his own funeral plank and starts to talk. The next line is one of the gentlest in all of Scripture. It says Jesus gave him back to his mother. He didn't keep him. He didn't make a spectacle. He took a son who was being carried to a grave and placed him back into the arms of a woman who thought she had nothing left to live for. That is death number 2. Not minutes gone like the girl. This one was hours gone, already wrapped, already moving toward the tomb. And it was already too late, by every standard anyone there had ever known. Except now we have a pattern. Minutes, then hours. And somewhere, in a town called Bethany, a man is getting sick who will be 4 days too late. Now we come to the grave I told you about at the very beginning. The one with the stone. The one with the smell. The one even his friends will beg him not to open. There is a man named Lazarus in a village called Bethany, and Jesus loves him. Lazarus has 2 sisters, Martha, the one who runs at problems head on, and Mary, the one who feels everything to the bone. And when Lazarus falls sick, the sisters send word to Jesus, certain he will drop everything. The message is simple: the one you love is sick. And here is the strangest thing in any of these three stories. Jesus gets the message, and he stays where he is. 2 more days. On purpose. The man he loves is dying, and he waits. Why? Stay with me, because this is the hinge of everything. In that culture, there was a belief that the soul of a dead person lingered near the body for 3 days, hovering, hoping somehow to return. On the 4th day, when the body began to break down, everyone agreed the soul was gone for good. After 4 days, there was no story left to tell. No hope, no debate, no maybe. 4 days meant over. Jesus waits until Lazarus has been in the tomb 4 days. He doesn't arrive late by accident. He arrives late on purpose, because he is not coming to heal a sick man. He is coming to do something to the one enemy nobody beats. When he finally reaches the edge of Bethany, Martha comes running out to meet him, and her grief comes out as an accusation. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. You can hear the 4 days of "where were you" pressed into that one sentence. And before he goes to the tomb, one more detail you should not miss. When Jesus first decided to come here, to Bethany, right next to a city that wanted him dead, it was one of the disciples, Thomas, the one history only remembers for doubting, who said, "Let us also go, that we may die with him." Even the doubter was ready to walk into a grave for this. Then Mary comes. And Mary doesn't argue. She just falls at his feet and weeps. And something breaks open in Jesus. The text gives us the shortest verse in the entire Bible to describe it. 2 words. Jesus wept. Sit with that. The one person in that crowd who knows for an absolute certainty that this funeral is about to be canceled, the one person who knows the dead man will be eating dinner tonight, is the one person crying. He is not crying because he has lost hope. He is crying because he is standing inside the wreckage that death makes of the people he loves, and he hates it. The original word is even stronger than tears. When Jesus comes to the tomb, the Greek says he was embryomai, and that word does not mean sad. It is the sound a war horse makes before a charge. A snort. A growl. It is fury. Jesus walks up to that grave, not just grieving, but angry. Angry at death itself, the way you would be angry at a thing that had hurt your child. They come to the tomb. It is a cave with a stone rolled across the mouth. And Jesus says, "Take away the stone." And practical Martha, bless her, says the thing everyone is thinking. Lord, by now there is a smell. He's been in there 4 days. There it is. The stone. The smell. The 4 days. Everything I promised you at the start. All of it true. All of it pressing in to say the same thing. This is finished. This is over. This one is too far gone. And that is exactly the door he chose to knock on. Think about the line we all know. Modern medicine can restart a heart that stopped 4 minutes ago. On a very good day, 6. We have machines and drugs and trained hands, and still there is a wall. A line past which everyone in the room goes quiet, and the doctor steps back and says the time out loud. If you have ever sat in a hospital corridor, you know that line, the place where hope runs out. 4 days is so far past that line it isn't even on the same map. And 4 days is precisely where he chose to begin. They roll the stone back. Jesus does not whisper now. There is no gentle little lamb here. He shouts. And listen to what he shouts. He calls the dead man by name. Lazarus, come out. The old teachers used to say that if he had not said the name, if he had only said, "Come out," every grave on earth would have emptied at once. He had to aim it. And out of the dark of a 4-day tomb, wrapped head to foot in grave cloths, a dead man walks into the sun. Minutes, hours, 4 days. The staircase is complete. So what do you do with 3 empty graves? Start here. This was never 3 random acts of kindness. It was a staircase built 1 step at a time on purpose. A girl gone minutes. A boy gone hours. A friend gone 4 days. Each one further than the last. Each one more impossible than the last. As if someone were walking deeper and deeper into enemy territory to see how far back he could call a person. and finding no line he could not cross. That is the first thing. The pattern was deliberate. Here is the second thing, and this one is for you, personally. Whatever you are carrying that feels too far gone, the relationship 4 days dead, the prayer you stopped praying, the part of yourself you quietly buried and rolled a stone in front of. There is no such thing as too late with him. Not minutes, not hours, not 4 days in a sealed tomb with the smell already rising. If too late had a limit, Lazarus is where he set it, and then walked straight past it. And here is the last thing. The thing that should sit on your chest tonight. Every one of these 3 graves was a rehearsal. He woke a girl by the hand. He stopped a funeral with a word. He called a rotting man out of a cave. And then, not long after, he let them do it to him. The stone, the tomb, the grave cloths, all of it, so that the next time a stone rolled away from a tomb, no one would have to call his name. He would walk out on his own. This is not a story about 3 people who came back. This is not a story about a teacher with unusual power. This is not a story about death at all. It is a story about the only man who ever treated a graveyard like a bedroom, and meant it. So tell me in the comments, which grave got to you? The girl, the widow's son, or the friend he wept for? I read everyone. And the next time you pass a cemetery, remember what he called it. A place where people are sleeping, waiting for the one who knows their name to come and say, "Get up."